Okay, we'll just roll through one together. This is question 8 on the problem set. It says you wish to test the following claim. The alternative claim at a significance level of alpha equals 0.05. So the null hypothesis is that mu is 74.7. We don't know what they're talking about, but whatever. And the alternative hypothesis is that mu is going to be less than 74.7. So you believe the population is normally distributed, but you do not know the standard deviation. Sigma unknown. So you obtain a sample size of 20, x bar is 70.1, the sample standard deviation is 18.5. What is the test statistic for the sample? So the first thing we're going to do is go to our stat menu, our test menu, and we're going to do a t-test, because we do not know sigma. So we're going to put in stats. We're going to go, our null mu is 74.7. Our x bar is 70.1. Our standard deviation based off the sample is 18.5. Our sample size is 20. We're trying to show a left test that if something is less than the null mu, and we're going to calculate. So basically our test statistic is going to be the t-value, negative 1.112, that's to 3 decimal places, negative 1.112. And the p-value, the probability or the chance that this kind of thing can happen is 0.1400 or just 0.14. Okay, now the important thing to remember is we're always comparing p, our p-value, to alpha. Okay, so there's a saying in statistics that says if the p is low, reject HO. That's important. Remember, I still use that to try to remember which way it's going to be going or not. So in this particular case, our p-value is larger than our alpha value. So p here is greater than alpha. Okay, so the p is not low. So we cannot reject the null hypothesis. So we don't say we accept it. It's kind of like in the court of law. You don't say someone is innocent, you just say not guilty. So you can't really accept innocence, you just can accept not guilt. So if the p is low, reject HO. Our p is not low, so we cannot reject HO. The p-value is greater than alpha. So this says we failed to reject. You can never accept. This is never going to be the answer, accept the null. You can either reject or fail to reject. So we do not reject the null. So when we fail to reject, that means there isn't sufficient evidence, right? Just like in a room in the court of law, right? If someone's not guilty, if someone's found not guilty, doesn't mean they didn't do it. It just means there wasn't enough evidence to prove they did do it. So there's not sufficient evidence to claim the population mean. So if we were in class, I'd always say formulate your conclusion in terms of the alternative. So you're always going to say not sufficient evidence to show this. So there's not sufficient evidence to show that the population mean is less than 74.7. So there's not sufficient evidence to warrant rejection, no. There's not sufficient evidence to support the claim that the population mean is less than 74.7. And that's it. Actually, let me copy another one here just so we can get a little more clarification. So look at this one here. Okay, so you did question 7. Your p-value is 0.0658. So now in this case, your p is lower than alpha. P is less than 0.10. So your p is low, so you will reject this. Reject HO. So you say there is sufficient evidence to show the alternative. There is sufficient evidence to show the population mean is greater than 59.2. So we'll say the data supports the claim that the population mean is greater than 59.2.